Test. Okay, good. So, don't drop things on the thing. That's a bad idea. Okay, so we are possibly go. I think I have troubleshooted everything that needs to be troubleshooted. Looks totally different than I would have expected. We're going to need to turn down my volume. This is way louder than YouTube was. It's interesting. My characters are actually color-coded now. They weren't color-coded on my other computer, I don't think. I'd forgotten about that. Let's see here. What are we doing? Yes, we're opening up the Twitch app. And we have... Yes, this is my dashboard. Is this the chat? This is the chat. Okay, good. So I should be able to see the chat. I think you all can hear me. Everything should be fine. Theoretically. So, just we'll see how it goes. So, when last we left off, we were heading toward Durlags, and now we can actually implement on that. So, we are on a new computer. We are on my laptop now, which we were not on before. And so that's going to cause all sorts of problems, I'm sure. But today we are going to be getting a little bit done. Does Insomnia serve me well in Canada? I mean, it serves. I mean, it doesn't really... I've actually been sleeping a lot since I got in Canada because I'm an old man and it's hard on my body to travel for as many hours as I was traveling. But we've all been sleeping quite a bit. But I actually haven't had any insomnia problems really since arriving. So I think we already took out the upper levels, right? Yeah, we already cleared all these upper levels. So now we just need to go to the lower levels. And we've done this. Did we kill all of these? I think we did. Alright. So with that being the case, we're going to have everyone dive into the basement and get moving. I don't have my hotkeys set up, so give me a second to set up my hotkeys. So, unfortunately, today is not going to be the long stream that I had intended to do. We are going to be doing kind of a short... Do I have my camera up? Sorry, I don't have a second monitor like I usually do, so I can't see the stuff that I normally would. Oh, right, this is using... Okay, I'm going to have to create a separate thing for this. So you can see the flickering in the background. That's because this camera is supposed to have a green screen on it. They now have the ability for it to like save your settings between computers, which is kind of cool. But at the same time, it's like, well, why would a different computer need the same settings? But at any rate, we have selection. That's weird. I don't see... Oh. Characters are their quick slots, apparently. Bit weird. But yeah, Canada's been fun so far. We've been doing a bunch of stuff. We saw some cool scenery. We've hung out a lot, and we've been playing Gloomhaven. I'm thinking about maybe streaming some of our Gloomhaven sessions, but I probably won't just because it's weird for me to sort of like... do that. You know, I'm sort of just... I'm spending time with my friends, and it's weird for me to make that public, if that makes any sense. So... because it's not like they're streamers or anything. Okay, so I don't have my autopause settings either, so we're going to want to do that. And yeah, Gloomhaven is a I would describe it as sort of a D&D light. I think that there was a game called I think it was called Hero Quest or something like that. No, Hero Quest is a different thing, I think. But there was a board game back in the past where you basically had you basically explore dungeons and things like that, and there's a whole plot that's going on, and your characters level up, and it's sort of like a board game where you're permanently altering the board itself, and it's based on like tile building dungeons, and there's like 100 dungeons that they have with all sorts of different creatures and fun stuff. Hey Poutine. So we've been playing that. It's a fun game, and I think it would actually be a good stream game. I'm just one of those people who feels like weird when I oh, you know what I can do? I can set character attacked if I want for when I'm dealing with ghouls. Okay, so the thing about Poutine, one could argue that I have found Poutine, but I don't think that any Canadian would argue that I found Poutine. So I was thinking that Poutine was one of those types of foods where I'm like, I can't imagine how you could screw up Poutine because it's just it's so many delicious things combined. So against the better judgment of my friend, I ordered some poutine when I was at one of the national parks from like the sort of cafeteria type place that they had, and so I had poutine that was made by Australians because for whatever reason everyone who works there is Australian. I think there was one person from Scandinavia as well, but they're mostly Australians. And so I had poutine made by Australians, and that was not very good. But I'm going to be having proper poutine that is actually made by people who know what they're doing at some point in the future. I don't know when we're going to be going there, but we'll be going there at some point. So, kind of, I've had poutine, but no, not really. I wouldn't really describe it as poutine because I wouldn't describe the substance that they were using on it as gravy. If that makes any sense. You can't really argue that you've had poutine if the substance on it wasn't actually gravy. So Dimension Door is coming out. Oh, shizzle fizz.
What is needed?
Okay, I think this is going to Silria. Nope. It just missed on a 19, so it is targeting Silria now. We can now just try to command it. $48 points of slashing damage. Jesus. And it misses on a 19, so Face Spider shouldn't be a problem. Where is Quebec? Probably not pronouncing that properly, but the only pronunciation that I know is the American pronunciation of, like, Quebec, and I know that's not right. I've already disarmed all the traps, right? I should have disarmed all the traps. Well, there's a shock. Okay, so basically nowhere near where I am then. Because we're going to be going on a road trip through some of the national parks as well, so yeah. Not a terribly high likelihood of me being able to pronounce the French pronunciation correctly. I don't have the appropriate sounds for that, I don't think. There we go, I like it. So yeah, so today, unfortunately, we're going to be doing a short stream. Tomorrow I will be doing a longer stream. I was thinking that I was going to have time to do a longer stream today, but It does not look like that's going to be the case. So I want to put Cloud Kill on Mira. She actually isn't going to get 5th level spells until until Baldur's Gate 2, so we don't need Cloud Kill on her yet. I'm gonna reload. Nice. Yeah, we've actually been playing a couple of games while we've been here. The other one that we've been doing is Betrayal Legacy, which is like Betrayal at House on the Hill. Only it's a like permanent, like you're creating the house, which is kind of cool. It's a very cool idea because usually the dynamics of the sort of shall we say season-based board games where like you're actually changing the board as you go. Usually they're games that you play X number of times and then you permanently like destroyed the game basically, right? So that's the typical stuff with that. But with this one, it is basically you are going through and you're doing the full season, and then once you do all of the sort of storyline stuff, the end result of that is your permanent game board, which is which is customized for your group. Like your group created this permanent board, which I think is really cool. Like just conceptually, it's really cool that you're having these permanent effects, and then that goes into when the sort of replayable game when you once you finish. I'm waiting for these effects to wear off. So Zeros Ashfall is a good name for a half elf, I think. Half elf thinger. I like that name. Does it include any feelies?
You know, with a good scrubbing and some bright new tapestries,
I don't know what feelies are. So that was probably haste. Okay, so these things rather, are all set. So this thing is going to use slashing damage, I think. And I don't think they have an attack pattern that's terribly complicated. I think they have a simplistic attack pattern. So with the mirror image gone, we should be all set. That was a 20. They're not humans. They're not humanoids, rather, so I can't use whole person. But they're like aberrations or abominations. Or I think it's called aberrations in 2nd edition. Don't quote me on that.
what's the story?
I guess you can quote me on that since I did preface it with I think. I don't want to go after the Mother Hasted. Do we have the sequencer? We do. We do not have a casting of Stone Skin. We do have a casting of Haste and Mirror Image. Let's see. But yeah, sorry about not being able to do any streaming earlier. We've got, you know, a few weeks here where we're seeing friends that we get to see once a year. And so I've been spending time with them. I took advantage of the time where
I dropped something.
Some errands are being
Could you
run
pick it up for me?
To do this. But tomorrow I will be, I'll be able to have a long period of time where one of my friends is working, and I'll be able to take advantage of that to get some serious work into Durlags. Oh, that is still hasted. That's surprising. Whoa, 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 wrong button. Okay, so this keyboard, I don't know, I don't have the feels for it down very well, but it's fine. Oh, shit, no. Oh, shit, nah. Let's see. We're gonna use drop up only mine. I want to just burst these down ASAP. Because they have an extra hit. So... yeah, they do not have an extra hit anymore. Okay, so she has been hit. That is a natural 20, so... these things don't really hit that hard, so... that's a good question. I don't actually know. I mean, not in Baldur's Gate. But I don't actually know how, like, the standard fighting style of, like, doppelgangers in 2nd edition. Later on, we'll be dealing with doppelgangers that will be shape-shifting mid-fight, but those are a somewhat different... okay, that was slashing damage. I was like, I saw 2 damage, and I'm like, what? Okay, I'm gonna go Mallow Head. Monster summoning 2.
Oof, I dropped something. Could you pick it up for me?
Alright, so we cleared out the first set of doppelgangers. We should have... I think I already cleared out some of the ghouls, right? Like, there were ghouls in here that I think I already cleared out. Wait, what? Wait. I didn't finish exploring this place? I did not. Okay, I apparently did not finish exploring before I started killing. We did get this cleared. It's going to be really weird trying to figure out what we've cleared and what we haven't, because I did this in a weird order. Oh, I also did not loot that other door. Ooh. I think that's a potion of it. Ooh, that's Hold Monster. So Hold Monster can be used on any... type of creature, and I'm going to give it to Silria, even though she's not going to be able to use it during this game, because she'll be able to use it to very strong effect in the expansion. Maybe. Probably not. Stack of 6 potions. Yeah, Greater Doppelgangers, there's a few different types of them, depending on where you are in the game. These are the standard ones from the, whatchamacallit? From the base game. And then there are certain ones that are unique to this zone.
That was just for practice.
That will behave differently than the standard ones. Oh shit. Well, get wrecked. Severia's too far away, so she's just gonna die. Alright, well. Quick save, I guess. I think those were natural 20s, so.
That was just for practice.
Space spiders have so many attacks. There's actually quite a lot of enemies that, depending on where you are facing them, they are, like, very, very different. That is 12 potions. Space. So, you've got space. So you're going to take this. You're not going to take anything from this. You're going to take...
Need me?
And 3 radius. Because potions sell reasonably well, and I might, at some point in the future, take off the restriction on potion use, if I need to. So particularly in the expansion, I might need to do that. Though, that said, in the expansion, I'm probably not going to be able to carry over these potions. I don't know how that works. I don't know if I can carry over these things into the expansion. If I can carry those over to the expansion, I'll have a ton of potions available, which will be important if I decide that I am not going to be able to complete the expansion without using consumables, because it'll basically mean that I'll have all the consumables from the main game to go through. And the expansion, the stuff that you find in Baldur's Gate 1, some of it is actually disproportionately powerful compared to what you would expect based off of the power of things in, like, Baldur's Gate 2. So I would imagine that the expansion probably follows the power scaling of Baldur's Gate 2 more closely than the power scaling of Baldur's Gate 1 when it comes to things like consumables and the like. Because the reason that Baldur's Gate 2 has a different scaling in that regard is because certain things were just ridiculously overpowered. So, zombie's probably going to do bludgeoning, right? And another one bites dust. Well, it's a magical belt that basically blocks bludgeoning attacks from hitting. So it won't help me if I'm punched by some random dude off the street, because technically speaking, standard unarmed damage is not bludgeoning damage. You'd think that punching someone in the face would be, but punching someone in the face is actually non-lethal damage, which is not considered to be bludgeoning. But yeah, these guys do bludgeoning damage, so... more damage than I would have expected, considering it's a lot of crits. Yeah. It's a you know, interesting system, and there's a lot of details to it. You know, there's a lot of very, you know, rules lawyer. Well, actually, technically speaking, punching someone isn't actually bludgeoning damage, so your guild of bluntness won't help you or whatever. Because, and it becomes relevant, right? So, clearly they're slapping me, not punching me. Yeah. Well, what's also funny is that you would expect that a zombie would have a less effective attack than some random dude with... Okay, that's not good. We need a... golden girdle. This is going to have a very high accuracy, so we're going to want to deal with this by hitting this. Okay. And the hope is that this does not switch targets. As long as it's looking at Silverio, we're fine.
That was just practice. That was...
Suri is using the wrong weapon. These things take half damage from slashing. They don't take basically any damage from piercing. And they take full damage from bludgeoning, so...
That was just for practice.
All of them critical misses. Oh shit. This thing is... Has it burned through my images, or did they just wear off? I wasn't paying enough attention.
Tread carefully.
Hey, level
Creatures
ups.
of fearsome power lurk in such places as this.
YOLO. Fearsome power along. YOLO. Now, we got additional 3rd level spell for you, and that is going to be Cure Radiant Wounds. And you are about to get access to 5th level spells. So she now has access to 2 5th level spells. We can get Chaos or Cloud Kill. We're going to go ahead and get Cloud Kill. We're probably not going to be getting much use out of it right now, but there are certain places where it's going to be extremely important. There's a broken weapon in here. There's another broken item in here. And 2 identify item scrolls. I yike it. And we got those arrows of dispelling. Okay, we have a thinger there. It's +1 shield, I think. Do I have the mallet and the head? It's the head, right? Yes.
What?
Okay, so we've put the switch back in. Okay, we are going to pull back quite a bit because we want to pull this thing away from the other guy. So we need to do piercing. Baldur's Gate 1 is quite amusing because every enemy that you fight, you basically have a different thing that you're going to want to equip. That's not good. This is a flesh golem. I don't think I can actually protect myself against that flesh golem right now. This thing's gonna just hit like a truck. And her AC is not gonna be able to protect her from it. Golem should also hypothetically be... let's see what that was. Yeah, that was a hit on a 13. So flesh golems cannot be tanked down without stone skins. So I just need to get stone skins. Even if I had the +4 AC from having the appropriate belt on, it wouldn't have helped. Haste doesn't give me AC, does it? So what that means is that we are going to have to try... I'd like to get the phase spider first. There we go. So we got the phase spider.
Need me?
That's bad. Alright, everything's fine.
What is needed?
It's now in melee range. It should no longer phase around. So as long as I don't get killed by it, everything's fine. Alright. Severia hits so hard. Oh man. How much is she hitting for? 18 to 25 damage. So crazy. Alright. We now have...
What's the story?
I have the ability to put on one more mirror image before I'm out. So I'm going to use one mirror image. Now the thing about flesh golems is that they are a pure, like a full-on brute force situation. There's no real... let's see. I can cast Spirit Armor on her to make it go a little further. If I cast Spirit Armor and then give her Splint Mail instead, do I have my Splint? I do. Spirit Armor plus Splint Mail will give me a better AC against Crushing. It'll give me a 2 bonus versus Crushing. So I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to equip this. The goal is to get hit as little as humanly possible. And now we can cast... We won't cast Defensive Harmony yet. And I don't think that Flesh Golems are considered to be evil. But I think I'm going to cast a quick protection from evil anyway. Oh, actually, we need you singing, and we need to get the singing in before we... Nope. 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 No, it's fine. It missed on a 5. We're casting Defensive Harmony. It is at least physically capable of missing.
What?
It missed on a 9.
Didn't see that coming, did you?
Nice. Alright. So we need to charge. There's another flesh golem. There is. There's another flesh golem in here. Unfortunately, I just aggroed both of these. So that's going to end very badly for me, I think. But because this is not very good against slashing. So this also has high magic resistance, which means that we're gonna have a bit of a rough time here. And by a bit of a rough time, oh wow, that hit on a 12. So we are going to actually cast Protection from Evil, I guess.
Manus potentis.
What? Huh?
What? No. That thing is hitting from so far away. Jesus Christ. Okay, well, I don't have the ability to retreat with her, so. Reloading. Damn it. Yeah, the border colors for the allies.
Uh-huh.
Okay, that is so painful. And it is hitting on reasonably low. Oh, I don't have my my plate armor equipped.
I'm going.
Yep, that's a 13. Was that? Did my armor spell wear off or something? I don't think so. This will give us a +2 to hit, which basically just is going to increase our DPS. But it looks to me like these skeletal warriors are hitting on... Did I forget? I did. I forgot to equip... This is... I am a total idiot. So I have the Girdle of Bluntness equipped because I'm an idiot. And there we go. Let's try this again with proper equipment. I'm actually going to use Drop on Holy Might again. Let's burst this thing down. Cast a Bless. So, unfortunately the chant does not. That's dumb. Yeah, that's two 20s in a row. Unfortunately, these things are just really rough to deal with without mirror images. I haven't streamed WoW in a while. There doesn't seem to be a huge amount of interest when I stream WoW, so I haven't really done that much of it. The last time I streamed WoW was at the start of the expansion when I was doing the max level rush and the initial mythics. And I would have expected there to be... I would have expected there to be more interest in that than there was, which just lends to me thinking that my audience isn't that interested in that kind of content, at least for me. Was I equipped or something? No? So, I don't know why she had everything burned down so fast.
What is needed?
Huh?
She has everything where it needs to be. It's missing on a 12. But yeah, the issue is that I can't really do too much to these things to actually improve my odds here. Because I can't actually directly influence this stuff. So we're going to be doing max damage, but... Okay. That's another skeletal. Whoa. You've got to be kidding me. I clicked to go the other direction, not that way. Okay, so we're just going to run away. Alright, so we have a golem. The golem will be hitting us. There's no way to avoid that. Is this just going to keep following me? This is just going to keep following me forever? What the hell? That wandered in a different direction that time. Okay, so this thing is actually following me for some asinine reason. I don't know why this thing is able to follow my trajectory, but... There's nothing. This has 100% magic resistance, so there's nothing I can do to it directly. I could hypothetically use...
You look troubled.
I don't think... I have anything that would allow me to kill this thing. Unless it has an AI pattern that would allow me to kill it, I don't think I'm going to be able to kill it. Yeah, it does not have an AI pattern that would allow me to do that. I guess I could, if I wanted, use some arrows. It's going to have a ton of HP, but these are +1 arrows, so... Okay. Where the fuck is it going? That was weird. What kind of weird-ass AI pattern do you have? What the fuck? It's just completely ignoring Silveria. Look at this. Who's it on? Well, it's on Severia now. So it does change target when it's forced, when it can't approach its target. Okay, so but yeah, I think we're gonna have to, unless I want to use a potion of absorption. No. Unless I want to use a potion of absorption, I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna have to rest before I can deal with that thing.
Tis just like the tunnels of my old clan.
Okay, so this is technically a room that I don't think I need to be in. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and save this and start. Where is the... That's where the head was, right? No, the head was here, I think. Where's the... So it's not in here. I might just have it in my inventory somewhere and not know about it. So... But yeah, I'm probably going to be starting up WoW again sometime in the reasonably near future, and at least playing it somewhat, so I'll probably do some sort of casual WoW streams at some point. Oh, it's this. Where was that thing?
Tread carefully. Creatures of fearsome power lurk in such places as this.
Down here? This could be. I don't see the body of it. Body out here, maybe? There it is. Alright. Okie dokie. So, we now need to go over here and use this. So we can now use the gong. Eclatech. Okay, sword now glows with pride. I think that means that we have everything. I have the curse of this place. So, there's no way that I'm going to be able to get this stuff done. There's no like, there's no facing rules really in this. The direction a creature is facing is entirely graphical. It doesn't have any mechanical impact. That's not true. I guess there is technically a backstab mechanic. Though, what I could do, technically speaking, this might work. When you say hit it with while its back is turned, I could actually just use hit and run tactics. I could just hit it once and then run away. Backstab failed, unfortunately. Wait, what? That was fast. Okay. Seriously? Oh! God damn it. Okay, so it's the AI. I need to turn off the AI. It's like, how on earth did I go that fast? Okay, we need the rest of my party to hide here.
What?
So that I have free reign to kite. But yeah, for a single melee creature, this is a reasonably decent strategy for finishing it off. Unfortunately, flesh golems are immune to damn near everything. They're immune to backstab. They're immune to magic. They're immune to non-magical weaponry. I'm having much better success with Hide in Shadows than I would have anticipated, actually. Like, I'm failing occasionally, but I'm succeeding more often than I would expect. But I do think, now that I see this, I think I know what the scoop is with their AI. They have perfect follow AI, it looks like. It looks like they keep updating where they're going to move to until they reach the location that you are moving to, including if you change the location that you're moving to. See how that moved exactly to the spot that I was going? It's because normally the follow AI does not update when you're out of line of sight of the creature, but for these it's updating even when I'm out of line of sight, which means that they're going to be able to follow. They'll basically just follow you indefinitely unless you become invisible. And even when you become invisible, they will continue to follow you until they reach you. There we go. Okay. So, Flesh Golems is dead, and we're not going to be able to take it. Oh, what the fuck? There's random encounters. Nope.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Okay, there we go. There we go. Mission successful. Mission successful indeed. Alright. So, what do we want to do? We want to... I guess. I do not have that set as my thing. Okay. There we go. So, we have a couple things that we need to do. First is you have stone skin.
What's the story?
And now...
Huh?
What is needed?
I don't remember all the details of how
Need
this
me?
place works, so... I must be murdered in this cursed place. Well, if you insist, friend. If you insist. We're gonna go ahead and...
I'm gone.
That was a lot of hits, very rapidly. So... I'm gonna make the assumption that they're all using slashing weapons. I do have my armor on. I only have -9 AC. Substantially more than that against slashing, specifically. I'm actually going to get the group together and cast Protection from Evil before we start.
You know, with a good scrubbing and some bright new tapestries, this place wouldn't be so bad.
Yes, it would. Let's be clear. That is a lie. This place would be bad with scrubbing and tapestries. That was a mistake. So Fear is a doppelganger. It's 4 points of poison damage.
Need me?
What is needed?
Bottom, Get with the program. Okay, y'all are going this way. You're going this way. Oh shit! There's another face spider here now? Alright, we're gonna have to reload. The face spider is gonna kill me. Okay, so face spider respawned. We're gonna hide in this room. That way we can get things set up correctly. We are actually going to, because it was silly of me to not do this already. We're gonna cast Mirror Image. And we're gonna cast Blur. Okay, save the game. So you are going to stand here.
leaves me.
What the fuck was that? Skull trap. Well, that was pleasant. Okay, so I feel like we actually might need to.
What is needed?
I don't think this is going to work too well. We're going to try using a spell thrust. And I guess we can try to blind the others. Meanwhile, do you have any reason to be here, friend?
You need something?
No, you don't really have any reason to be here. So, Kalisa is going to hide back here. Severia is going to move a bit. No, Severia's not going to move. Severia's going to stand right where she is. Suri is actually going to pull back as well. Mira is going to just pull back. You know what you can do is I can have her cast this.
What area you need?
Okay, so you... Is it you? No, it's not. It's you. You are going to cast Spell Thrust. That's a lot of damage. That was a lot of damage very quickly. The other thing that I need to check... I have at least one item that's supposed to grant immunity to poison. Put that in her offhand to give her immunity to poison. I don't know if it'll actually work the way that I would expect it to. The other one does not appear to be doing what I would expect. I'm gonna blind this one. Why was Nira in me? I need to turn off my AI. Okay, so you people need to not kill yourselves. You target. So spell thrust.
What is needed?
Severia attacks. Defensive harmony. Web. So ring of free action on wrong character. So we need a ring of free action on her. She needs to equip her sword. And she already has a ring of free action on. And Severia's dead because I let her be in melee with that thing. Okay. I don't think a strategy that revolves around actually staying out here is going to work. Just fundamentally, I don't think that it's viable. So we're going to just pull back over here. Okay, this one is now on us. So is Love. Oh shit, there's a fuck ton of zombies over there. Okay, we should be able to hopefully kill this thing.
Need me?
And now that we've split them up, where are you going? Why did you leave your target? Oh, right, because he's going invisible. Fuck me. So he's now attacking Severia. He's doing piercing damage. She has negative 12 versus piercing right now. Somebody has Hold Undead. You do. I'm gonna just keep trying to blind.
What?
Fucking A. Alright, so it just burned 2 of my spells.
What is needed?
I don't think Hold Person will work on this. This is some total fucking horseshit. Fuck this thing so much. Oh my god. Okay, so it looks like it's not using potions. Like I think it originally used potions. I don't think it had the ability to do this infinitely before. So what we're gonna do. So, Skull Trap is gonna just kill me outright. No way preventing that. Not really, no.
Uh-huh. I could really use Tensor's floating bandage or...
Yeah, there's no way I'm do that way. So, first of all, everybody needs to get the fuck out of here, except for Silria. They need to be out of there when this triggers. Next, we're doing this. We're going to pull everyone out of the room. There's the Skull Trap, and it casts it instantly. It doesn't actually cast Skull Trap the way that you would expect it to be doing. It's literally just instantly triggering a Skull Trap.
Clanmates already.
So
These as well.
I think I might need... I think the only solution to that is just to have Minor Globe of Invulnerability. Because it's actually casting it via script, it's not actually casting the spell. It's just scripting an ability that is instantaneous that triggers a Skull Trap-like effect. So, with that being the case, the only way that I can think of to deal with that is basically to crowd control before the effect goes off. So that would mean not charging. And we removed that, and now we're going to try to get a hold person off. We're not going to try to get a hold person off because we'll never get a hold person off that way. And we're actually going to have her move to here. And we're just going to cast a web over here. Okay, we're going to cast a web.
Yes.
We're going to cast a blind. We're going to cast another web. The question is whether they're immune to web completely or not.
Going.
And
What is needed?
they're not completely immune to web, so a web strat could theoretically work. I think I know what I need to do then. Okay, so these guys actually do need to come back over here. Unfortunately, I'm wasting this effect. I guess I could load back to earlier quick save, but it's not a big deal. So we're gonna do move you here,
What?
and then
What is needed?
you are gonna pop over here. You are going to cast Spell Thrust. And then we are going to cast... I'm going to pull you back. I do not have the thing where I need to be. So she is just going to try to come back.
Yes.
We're going to cast a web out here.
You look troubled.
You have both Greater Malice and web to cast. So we're going to cast web first, I think. Or will we? Unfortunately, this thing I think is out of the web now. I'm gonna try to get a hold person on you. Almost certainly gonna fail because I don't think these are people. They look like people, but I don't think they are. And that's the skull trap going off. And this is in the web. So that's good to know. Okay, so what would we need to do? Because I could use a wand of paralyzation. Like, that's an easy solution. But it's not a solution that I'm allowed to actually utilize. The other thing that I could do, actually, is I could talk. That's actually really funny.
What is needed?
Okay, so we've got a bunch of ads here. If I can basically single pull them out, I should be able to just beat them down one by one.
What? What?
Uh-huh.
Is this thing seriously attacking Yinslick from that range? a good thing he has his plate armor on. Alright. So, we're now going to go through the north. Oh shit. I thought I had cleared this whole section, but I did not. Done. Alright, so what we're going to do now cast Invis and take a look. The goal here is to find one of them out in the open. If we can find one of them out in the open, there we go. So this is Fear and Pride. So Fear and Pride are over here. And we have you using a Dimension Door on Silria. This is using Dimension Door on Kalisa now. Okay. Oh wait.
That was just for practice. Didn't see that coming, did you?
Oh wow, he has like leveled up again. Cool. So that's another what fighter level, is it? Yes. And so he can put a second point into 2 weapon style if I want. And with that, because I'm not planning on having him tank very much, we should probably just give him this. So he's now going to be dual wielding. It'll increase his damage by a little bit.
Yes.
Not a huge amount because his damage output isn't terribly stellar to begin with. But here is Love. Okay, so Love is here, and we need to get everyone over here.
What is it?
And if I can basically just cast a couple of webs around this corner, and she can equip this. If I can get 2 webs around this corner, I can hopefully... Love has been held. And
You look troubled.
we can now cast Greater Malison. This.
Yes.
Actually, I can just have Severia dive. Severia already has this on. Okay, so Love is now held. Question is, Severia... Okay, so she is going to now, hopefully, be able to just burn this down. So it's 24 slashing damage. So this thing does a lot of fucking damage with its, like, sword. Okay. Okay. So, we took down the Spellcaster. Spellcaster is dealt with, and now we can move on to the next target. Next target should be the Rogue, and as long as the Rogue has Silria as its closest target, I think it'll stay on her. I am killing the physical embodiment of this person's twisted idea of what love is. Which bears very little similarity to anything to actual love. So let's see here.
What is it this time?
What's the story?
So pride and avarice are both held.
Out.
It's crushing damage from fear. And that was an 11? Are you fucking kidding me? So that thing hits on an 11? Jesus. Alright, so we're not going to be able to take all three of them at once. We're going to need to pull them separately, it looks like. Am I evil? You know, yes. Neutral evil. So, easy question. Let's see. What do I want? I think I want to blind these things, actually. So I think what I'm going to try to do is, if I can single pull, I think this might do bludgeoning damage. I think that might have been what I saw just now.
What?
And she does not actually have that. Oh shit, fear has magic resistance. Okay, so fear might be immune to thingers. I think this uses bludgeoning attacks. So we're gonna do this.
What is needed?
Okay.
Uh-huh.
So this thing just hit on a 14. Doom is not going to help. Defensive Harmony will. I do not have protection from evil. This thing's still completely uninjured. Its AC is ludicrous, and
I hate it when I lose my spell.
17. That was crushing, right? Yep. So we don't have.
I'm going.
I've lost too many clanmates already. Must I lose these as well?
I don't know
Huh? Need me?
how to approach this other than to. So take this off. Since it has magic resistance, we can't use web for it anyway. It's using bludgeoning damage. I can defend against bludgeoning damage with this. So that allows us to get a slightly better combo going. And we can actually just cast haste. And then Nope.